Good morning. Before I go to work, hey, are you sick of this lockdown? I am too. It's been going on for thousands of years. There have been people sick and dying. The reason we're in lockdown is the rest of the universe doesn't want anything to do with the death and pain that this planet's got. But God's got a plan for it. He wants it to be much better. And I want to tell you how we can be part of that plan. Now, I know you guys are interested in being gospel medical missionaries. 3 months ago, if you'd asked me what that was all about, I could have told you a few things, but in the back of my mind I had some vague picture of what it might look like. But what I have come to the conclusion is that this work, this gospel medical missionary work, is really the work that will stop the lockdown. It's the work when Jesus can come back and wipe the tears away from our eyes, and there'll be no more death, no more pain. I want that day. The way we're going to go through, so I developed this program in the last couple of months, and the way we do that is by doing readings from this little book, Ministry of Healing. What we do is we start in the last chapter. And this chapter is all about a challenge from God. He says, I want a closer relationship with you. I want to be much more involved in your life because there's wonderful things we can do together. You can become a co-worker with me. And the last chapter is called A Higher Experience, and that's what it's about. And then we're going to look at the first chapter, which is Jesus living out that higher experience, what a relationship with God looks like. And then we're going to look at the third chapter is a chapter called Teaching and Healing. It's actually chapter 9 in the book. And that is where we get the invitation to the work of being with Christ and what we will do with him. And we also get the challenge of he's offering so much to us. Why don't we work with him? Why don't we get this thing done? Why don't we stop the lockdown? Why don't we get out and enjoy the freedom and the existence that the rest of the universe lives with, that we are struggling with this little tiny world every day? He wants us to get out of that. So what I invite you to do is to come to my website. There's links down below there. And I want you to do 3 things. There's only 3 things you've got to do. First of all, I want you to download a workbook. So click on the paper size or the workbook you want, and you're going to end up with this. And I want you to print it off. Okay? And what you'll notice, and I'll enlarge it for you, and what you'll notice is that there's numbers. There's blank spaces and then there's a number at the end. This is where you fill things in. The second thing I want you to do is to subscribe to daily readings. We're going to go through Ministry of Healing, those 3 chapters, just 2 pages at a time. The most you're going to read in a day, I'm going to put the readings up, is just 2 pages out of this book. Not much reading, every morning. So you subscribe to the daily emails, you click on there, you'll come to this page, you write your name, your email, give me permission to send you these emails every day, and then subscribe to the list. And then you'll get emails every day. And what they're going to look like is something like this. This is day 10, and they're meditation readings. You read through it and you think about what you're saying. What you'll note, what Mrs. White's saying to us, what you'll notice is that there's some red writing. I'll enlarge that too for you. And after each red writing is that number. And remember the numbers we saw on the workbook? You write those words down at that number. You find that. So you look for 3.33. The numbers are in order so you can find them easily. You also notice something else, this word here. It's Greek. Those of you who can read Greek would know that's Adam. Adam is, I think it's actually the human family's name. It's our family name. I put it in in the places where Mrs. White uses the words man or men to mean mankind, to mean all of humanity, but it means our family name. Anyway, there are some things you'll need to write down each morning. That's the readings you'll get each day, and there's only 24 of them, or 25 actually. Then the third thing I want you to do is look at when the next seminar, the workbook seminar, is coming up, because we aren't going to fill in all the spaces with the workbook. And I want you to pick a date, then go down to this form down the bottom, fill it in, your email address, your name, where the time zone you're living, so I can work out the seminar, and which seminar you want to go to, and then you submit that. That's all you've got to do. You're going to get emails every day. You'll meditate on what the life of Christ is like and the challenge God's got for us. Part of that challenge is that Jesus really wants us to be co-workers with him. When I started this project, I didn't think I had a lot to learn, but I do. Guys, Christ wants a closer relationship with us. He wants us to be his co-workers here on this earth. He wants us to be his hands and his voice. I'd like you to come on this journey to a closer relationship with him, and at that workbook seminar we'll get together and you probably have some improvements that you want to make with this thing. But every morning as I start my day, I write down the challenges I have for the day, and then by the end of the reading, I always have some characteristic of Christ or something he said that meets those needs, and I write them over it. So every day, that's what my diary looks like, and it's wonderful to look at that at the end of the day and see how Jesus has worked with me through the day. Join me in this journey.